Hey guys, it's me. Hello, it's me. Okay, so I've never done this before, so this is all experimental, and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out. But um, let's just talk a little bit. First of all, this is my house. I'm in my living room right now. I have three dogs down here. There is one in the background. I don't know if you can see her over there. That is and there's so that's Buffy, Percy, and Nana. Banana is over there. Let's see, can you see her? Maybe not. That's my chair with toilet paper and things that we bought that I need to put away still. So, you guys didn't ask any questions, so I don't have any questions to answer from y'all about the chapter material. Maybe it's it's really not that hard as if you go through and read the chapter, and I have the word list that should help guide you a little bit about what it is that you should be focusing on. But let's just go over a couple of things. First of all, the syllabus. I have my email address on there, but it's better if you go ahead and message me inside of our classroom, because that way I can get to your emails faster. I get a lot of emails during the day. I might get, some days, 100 emails. Most of those are junk emails, but some of them actually are important, like the ones that come from you. And those are hard to find when they're buried in a bunch of other stuff. I'm on sabbatical this year, so I don't have regular office hours, but I'm happy to make an appointment, and I will be in the office sometimes. And I'm glad to see you and have you come visit me. Next term, I'm actually going to be on campus for one class, and that's going to be on Tuesday and Thursdays. It's called Psychology of Media. It's Psych 280. It's my favorite class. And I love 237. This is my area of expertise. I'm a lifespan developmental psychologist, but Psych 280 is a super fun class, and we usually talk about what's going on in the media at that time and how media is manipulating people to feel particular ways, especially with what's happening right now with the election. I wish I was teaching that course this term, but we go all the way. We start at all the way from cuneiform, and we go all the way across the earliest pamphlets, earliest newspapers, earliest forms of media like television and movies, silent movies, and then go all the way up through the dark net. And we also talk about, of course, social media. So I really love that class. And music, we talk a lot about music as well in that course. That's a really fun class. But this is my other favorite class, and Psych 237, like I just said earlier, is my specialty. I'm a lifespan developmental psychologist. I went to the University of Georgia for all of my degrees. I'm actually a lifespan, so across the entire life, so from conception until death. And I saw somebody kind of mention that, actually, several people mention why we were watching a video on conception and pregnancy and birth. Well, because that is part of developmental psychology. We look at development not just in terms of what's happening cognitively or, with things like ADHD or developmental issues that might happen with mental health issues. That's a part of it, but it's just a part of it. It's 1/3 of developmental psychology. We have to look at a person in all of their kinds of areas or aspects that relate to that individual. So, or actually in groups too, right? So we're looking at biological development, cognitive development, and psychosocial development. And so those are the three areas of psychology that we'll be studying this term. And again, it starts at conception, and we go all the way across the lifespan through death and dying. Now, back to my syllabus. Sorry for that aside. Yeah, my phone number is 503-365-4665. That's on the syllabus. And like I said, I won't be able to answer those phone calls very often, but please leave me a message if it's if there's something that you need to know inside the course messages, or if you have a problem. I'm not going to look every single day, but I'm going to look pretty much every single day in our classroom. Our textbook, should you get it? Yeah, you should get the textbook. This one is the current edition right now, and it's really comprehensive, and it's a lot of reading. But it's one that you might want to save if you're going into nursing or if you're going to be working with people on the outside. It does give you a perspective of the developing person across the lifespan, and so, and it's a really, of all the textbooks that are in the field right now, it is the best textbook for this particular course. Should you get it? Yes, you should. Can you get a different edition? Well, by this time, I'm guessing that you probably already have an edition, either an earlier one or the one that's listed on your syllabus. If you have one that's an earlier edition, just beware that some of the data that's in there is a little bit outdated. It's a little bit old. In fact, the edition that we have right now, by the time it was published, a lot of the information had changed already, so some of the data is outdated. But you should be reading the textbook. Now, the notes that are online are pretty comprehensive and should help you quite a bit in getting through the material. And if you've already taken a test or you've opened up an exam, you'll notice that you have the opportunity to take the exams twice and your highest score is saved. So you should take the test, see how much you know, and then come back and take the test and answer what you didn't know in the first time, the second time, the right way. All right, so let's go through the rest of the material real quick. You do have 4 exams, each are worth 100 points. If it has like 106 on the actual test or 102 or 104, that extra 4, 2, or 6 is just extra points. And so I've built in a little bit of a curve to those questions. And you'll notice that as you go along in the course, there's more questions that you have to answer on the exams, and that's really because of the amount of material that that we're covering in each of the exams. So I'm going through the syllabus as I'm talking a little bit. You do have those homework assignments and discussions, the 2 discussions, one that you've already done on the movie and one that will be due towards the end of the term related to millennials. And I hope that you really look at the material and digest it, and remember that you're talking to a bunch of other people as you're posting on the website about what you think about, 1, that movie, and 2, about millennials. So usually during the term I have an opportunity to do some kind of an extra credit event, like we go on field trips, and then you can write a short summary of what it is that you learned, or what surprised you, and then you can earn up to 10 extra points. Being on sabbatical, it's kind of hard to arrange that stuff, but I'm going to work on posting something on our front page that allows people the opportunity to go on some kind of an adventure and then earn some extra points. Something that's related to the material that we're talking about in class. Okay. Everything that I've graded will show up in your grade book, so you'll have a running total of what your class grade is, and what you should do is take the total points that are possible, which are 460, and divide the points that you've earned by that number, and then multiply it by 100, and that will give you what your grade is in the course. Let's see. Don't email assignments. If you can avoid it, don't email assignments. I know that sometimes things don't work out the way we hope them to, but don't email them to my regular email for sure, because you don't want those things to get lost. But email it to me in our class section in the course comments or messages, and then I'll be able to get it if you have a problem posting it online. Remember when you're doing homework that you should do your homework in a separate I would do it like on if you have a Mac, you know, in the Pages, or if you're doing it on any other a Microsoft Windows kind of program. Go ahead and save your homework to your computer, and that way you have it if something happens in the classroom when you're trying to upload it to the classroom assignment box. What I like the best is if you can copy it and paste it into the text box that's provided for you on the assignment board. Because sometimes depending on how the document has been saved, I can't open it on my machine. So I can pretty much always open PDFs. So if you want to save it as a PDF or export it to a PDF, then putting a link up there is not a big deal because I can usually open those up. I say on our syllabus to bring who you are when you come to class, and I know that this is sort of hard because we're in an online kind of environment, but if you bring who you are to the classroom with the caveat that you should remember that we're not able to see each other and we don't know exactly what it is that people are going to be doing with the information that we put up there. Of course, it's supposed to be all safe and secure. As you know, this is an online classroom, so be careful of what you share, and remember to treat each other with respect and dignity. And I think one of the things that I love about Chemeketa so much is that there's so much diversity, and it's one of the things that allows us to actually grow. So bring who you are, bring your experiences, bring your background, because those things actually help make the classroom more rich. Let's see. If you haven't gotten advised or counseled, be sure to do that, because that'll help you in making sure that you take the classes that you need to take and that you're not taking classes that you don't need to take. But don't forget, if you need accommodations, that there's ways that we can go about making those kinds of accommodations that'll help people be successful in the classroom. Veterans, be sure to check in with the Veterans Office here at Chemeketa. And on the syllabus, I also have services and resources for students, including the Writing Center, the Tutoring Center, and the Testing Center, and those are all really good services that Chemeketa provides that you should go see. Let's see. So weeks 1 and 2. Weeks 1 and 2, introduction, conception, biosocial development through the first 2 years. And by now you've all watched the movie on pregnancy and birth, and you've answered the question. And these weeks, 3 and 4, you're going to be looking at the cognitive development in the first 2 years of all of early childhood. So that's a lot of chapters. It's 10 through 6, and it's a lot of material. As we get towards the end, I'll post some pages that you can. Well, actually, I'll post what pages you should actually be focusing on, because a lot of it is repetitive, so that you don't have to read all of it again and again. But we can chop out some of the reading because it's stuff that we've already covered in earlier chapters. So be looking for that sometime in the middle of the term. It'll reduce your workload quite a bit in terms of the reading. And then the weeks 5 and 6, you'll be reading chapters 11 through 16. Now, a couple things that are due. Don't forget that your Exam 1 is due on October 15th, which is in 4 days, and your homework number 2 is going to be due October 23rd. Our Exam 2 is due October 29th. Don't wait till the last minute to do those exams, because something always happens, right, with Blackboard on the day that you're trying to take that exam, and you don't want to cut yourself short and not get to take it twice because you decided to take it at 11 p.m. on the day that it was due. So go ahead and take that test early. Don't be afraid. But you should have all your materials available when you're going to take the test. Be prepared and ready. Make sure you don't have any distractions, that you have plenty of time to do it, and that you're not, make sure you're not going to be interrupted where you have to leave and come back. You want to make sure that you save all of your answers, and be sure to save the exam as well. Okay? So I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to come back and make another little video about the first set of material, and make sure that we've covered some of those things that are key. Okay.